I say here at Kajun Reseller, you give me an offer and I'll take it with no problem. I got an offer. I got the dollars. Let me have it, please. I got the dollars. Let him have it. You got the dollars? We got the offer? Let him have it with no problem. Let him have it.
Hello, everybody. I'm sorry, I'm laughing so much or something. I'm sorry. Y'all gonna see why in a few minutes. Oh, hello, everyone. Good morning on this bright and beautiful Monday morning. How's everybody doing? First in the chat today to get that pipe on is Tammy. Hello, good morning and welcome. Boris and Natasha, good morning. Passports and pizza pies. Hello. Wendy, good morning. Hello and welcome. Prayer warriors. My brother John is having chemo. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I saw that this weekend. Definitely in our prayers. Yenza Picker, hello. Susanna's Chronicle, good morning, everyone. Horizon Picks, Mr. Roy in the house. And of course, we do have, who is Tom Cruise? Good morning, hello, and welcome. And I see Miss Ella is here. Good morning, hello, and welcome. There you go. All right, everyone, listen, I'm laughing because I'm going to bring you my guest on this morning. And I want y'all to give this person a warm and loving welcome. Y'all may know him as someone else, but right now I'm going to bring you on. It's Scooby-Dooby-Doo!
Ruby-Doo! Ruby-Doo! We're Raggy. We're Raggy.
Good morning, everyone. I couldn't help it when I saw you come back with that on.
I forgot you can see me backstage.
Yeah. So, everyone, as you see, it's the TJ and the Cap guy, Mr. Bobby. So, how's everything going in your neck of the woods, Bobby?
Just finishing up my shipping from the weekend and going to the post office after this.
Awesome. So, everyone, if you have any questions when we're going around with questions, go ahead and put it in the chat for us. We'll go ahead and get that answered. There's a lot of us in here that know you. There may be some that may not know you because there are a few new ones here. So give everybody a little short description of yourself, and we'll go through the questions after.
You need my stats?
Whatever you would like.
No. I live in Oklahoma. I grew up in Central Texas, Austin, Texas, but I live in Oklahoma, Yukon, home of Garth Brooks, for those of you who have heard of him. And I went full-time about a year and a half ago. I've done part-time eBay reselling since 2004. I was in management with UPS Freight for 20 years, and before that at other companies prior, and I've lived all over the country. And now I do it full-time as I retired 3 years ago, and I use a puppet in my videos to be different. I'm very transparent in what I do, buy, sell, and profits daily, or not daily anymore, but trying to get to that 1,000 mark in subs like everybody does. Right. And that's me.
Let's see. I'm getting typed.
Like Johnny, I served in the Navy.
All right. Let's see here. I'm trying to get everybody to make sure I tell everybody hello, because that's one thing I have. It's just me. I think I'm caught up. Cap guy. Yep. Then what got you started with the puppet with TJ? Where you?
Well, I started the channel probably February was a year ago, and I was doing daily videos, and I was just, I mean, if you go back and look at the first ones, it's, I mean, not that they've improved a ton, but they, I was just using different gimmicks. And then one day I saw him at Goodwill and I had to have him. And my grandson always absconds things I grab sometimes, toys and things. And so for a little while he got him, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to use that puppet. So I asked him for him back. He gave him back. And now I introduced him and I kind of do a little skit, and nothing is pre-planned. I mean, so I can write a song in a couple of minutes, just a jingle. And so we kind of pick on each other, and whatever comes to his head, I'll say. So.
I enjoy it, though. That was, especially when you do all these different songs and you change the words, like, what was his name? Weird Al Yankovic?
Yeah.
That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah. Hopefully
all right, so
like Weird
I'm going to be putting, I'm copying and pasting here.
Hopefully I don't look like Weird Al. I think I look more like Channing Tatum.
Funny part about it, when I was in school, and I used to dress up, like when we had to do these different contests and stuff, I would dress up. I mean, I literally had the curls like he did, so I literally would dress up like him, and yeah, it was pretty fun. I enjoyed it.
You know, at my age, I have no shame, so I don't care if I embarrass myself. I mean, you got to kind of laugh at yourself.
Exactly.
I'm telling people I'm taking him to Maui with me when we go to Maui in July, and I think I would have some fun with some skits with him.
Yeah.
You know, just afraid of the water, afraid of sharks, on the paddleboard, all that kind of stuff. So
yeah,
we'll see how it goes.
All right, just put his link in the chat, but in case if you're not subscribed, or if you are, just make sure you are still subscribed, because I noticed this week, and I had a couple of them that I thought I was subscribed, went to look for their videos, I had to resubscribe to them, so definitely check it out. And sometimes you do have to unsubscribe and resubscribe if you're not getting notifications. So what got you started, and I know you and I have somewhat of the same backgrounds of being in the Navy, but what got you to, when you made the comment you used to work and quit and went full-time, what made you do that?
When I did it, when I first started, I was reselling jerseys, sports jerseys. I know a lot about sports jerseys. So I did that. And then when I retired the first year, I sat in that chair and watched Let's Make a Deal. I was 59. So I sat in the Let's Make a Deal, Price is Right, Dr. Phil, all that good stuff. And I just sat there and grew in that chair. And I thought, you know, you're going to die in this chair if you don't get up and do something.
Right.
So I went on keto, and in 6 months, I lost 60 pounds.
Oh, cool.
Of course, in COVID, I gained about 40 back, and I'm back on keto now for about 2.5 weeks, and I'm feeling great already. But I went from a 4X to a 2X shirt, and I just felt so good, and I had so much renewed energy. I was walking, and I said, you know what, let's do this full time. And I tried to stay under the 20,000 at eBay, and I accidentally went over. And then so last year, I said, you know, let's just see what I can do. And I'm talking picking one at a time here and there, a little retail, but mostly yard sales, estate sales, bins, Goodwills. And I just hit just under 98 grand in sales, and not profit, but that's why I tell people what I make daily. I have a goal, and it's a generic goal of 150 a day profit, and it supplements the pension, of course, I get from UPS. But that's kind of where I'm at. Just try to stay busy and moving. And but unfortunately, I love to source, so I think I have just over 3,900 items in my store, and I just keep thinking, you know, you've got to downsize the store. It's getting to be too much, but I find so much good stuff here, and I wished everybody could find the same kind of things. I mean, I bought a ton of clothing this weekend for very low prices.
I thought you didn't like doing clothing.
I don't. And I keep saying I'm going to get out of it. But when you find a Carhartt vest for $1, or Robert Graham shirts for $5, or Jordan shoes for $5, retro, you know, then you're going to, I mean, I just have to keep getting them because they're going to make money.
Exactly.
So
what is the 1-2 thing that you go to? I know your title says the cap guy, but what is the one thing that you keep looking at when you're sourcing?
You know, it's funny because when I tell people, and a lot of people are picking up ball caps because of what I have said over time. Last year, my top 4 sellers were, and I have a lot of caps, but I don't historically do caps a lot. I say that and I'm lying, but when I go to a yard sale, I always ask if they have any old caps or video games, like a lot of people, because a lot of times they may not have the video games out, and then I go, or the hats, and I go and I get them. I would say that Caps was number one. I made over $5,000 off used ball caps last year, primarily used. And two was plush stuffed animals. I just sold Five Nights at Freddy plush the other day. I picked up a week ago for $165. 5 years old, not vintage, but Five Nights at Freddy's, Plants vs. Zombies, Mario, Sonic, Tails, all that stuff's valuable.
Right.
And third was video games, and fourth was Mary Kay makeup, because the cap guy will sell doll clothes. I will sell Mary Kay. I just bought 8 pieces of Mary Kay medium coverage, and the cap guy goes, okay, there's bronze, there's beige 300, there's, you learn all these colors and shades. And then I learned about Mary Kay by doing research. The pink caps were when Mary Kay was alive on the medium coverage foundations. Gray caps were post Mary Kay. And so I found a bunch of pink cap, and the lady gave them to me for like $10, $1.25 a piece. I've already made 120 profit, and I still have 2 or 3 left. So
wow.
It's amazing when you see that stuff. Now, I do stay away from lipsticks. I've learned the hard way, and nail polishes and eyeliners, because they dry out. And I don't wear makeup except at night. So
You know what? Now that you're saying that, I'm noticing that several other retailers that I watch on YouTube reselling makeup of the bulk buys they've been doing.
Yeah, like
it's amazing. Yeah. I didn't know would have thought of that. Because I hear a lot of times where you're not supposed to sell makeup, especially if it's been open, depending on what it is. So for me, I kind of stay away from that.
Right.
Again, and I'm not going to say I never will buy it, but I'm just saying that, first of all, I never had a really good deal come through to where I have to have it, kind of thing. So yeah, I just kind of stay away from that.
Mary Kay seems to be the brand that I buy. I mean, it seems when I find it, but it's the moisturizers, the foundations, the masks, and I think again, it brings good money. But I'm not going to spend $14,000 for a bunch of makeup. I get it for $30, and I get quite a bit of it, and I'll sell it. But yeah, typically, I mean, the ones I got the other day, it was surprising. Some of them were selling for $40, free shipping.
Right. Well, hello, Cindy. I see you over here on the Facebook side. Be sure to pick up some makeup rover wet naps.
See, there's a new one for me.
Never heard of it.
No, me neither. The one that really got me was Lip Plumper from Ulta. I found some last year. And I had to call. I have 3 daughters. I raised 3 girls by myself, and I called her up and I said, "Hey, tell me about Lip Plumper." She goes, "Oh, Dad, that's like $32 at Ulta." I said, "What does it do?" She said, "Women put it on their lips to puff them up, but it burns." I'm like, "Wait, you're gonna spend $32 to burn your lips to puff them up? How much?" But it sells for. The lady wanted $1 a piece. She had 7 tubes. I bought it in a week. I sold them all.
Wow!
If y'all want to burn your lips, okay.
Yeah, evidently it's a makeup remover wet nap wipes or naps.
Oh, okay.
Cool. Hello, Nikki. I never heard of it.
Me either. Hello, everybody.
Cool. So for those who may not know, this is Bobby, the cap guy with JT. And whenever you're sourcing, have you ever found, like, say, your grail, like the one thing you want to find when sourcing? What would that be if you haven't found
vintage concert T-shirts, vintage video games, anything retro. I just ran a couple of estate sales in the last few weeks, and I don't normally do those. We were helping somebody out. My girlfriend is a real estate agent, and both of the houses she had sold, and so we were allowed to go in. And one of them, they just left stuff behind, and we had a yard sale, and we got to keep the money. And we're going to use it for the Maui trip with the family. But the other one was an actual estate sale, and the family. The gentleman died. He was just a month shy of 99, and he didn't get rid of anything. I mean, there were things in that house, like all their kids' shoes. There were 1997 Transformer sandals for a toddler. And some of the stuff I bought, and then I sold those for $65 the same day I listed them. Things like that. And so anything vintage, retro, anything, concert shirts and single stitch, all that stuff, I kind of know a little bit about. But when I go to yard sales, I'm typically looking for the video game stuff first. Right. And the other stuff that stands out. And then I go to caps because people aren't really looking for caps. And so I kind of save those. But if I see them and I see good ones there, I'll go grab them to make sure nobody gets them. But toys are really good to find too.
All right. Cindy says that she's trying to find the channel on YouTube. See you shortly. Okay. So anyway, um, how long have you been doing this as far as your actual eBay store? And is that the only platform you sell on?
Yeah, it's the only. Well, I'll do a little bit of local pickup on Facebook, but I do. Yeah, that's the only thing. I tried Poshmark, and because I was new and I didn't have a following, I got a lot of scams. And I had a couple of purses of Prada and a Coach, and I finally pulled it down and I put the Prada on eBay and I sold it. Coach, I don't pick up anymore. I've just had too many issues with, oh, that's not real. And there's a lady that actually goes to our bins that is one of the eBay people that authenticates purses, and she has a degree in fashion. And so I quit picking up those. But if I see a Prada or some of the other name brands, I've never found a Louis Vuitton, of course. But when I find those, I'll pick them up. But I'll sell anything that makes money. I comp it, and that's what I suggest is always comp things until you get a really good working knowledge of that item. And another way to do it, and I've done a couple of videos, is just do research. Like when somebody asked me one time what a 3-stripe cap was, the old vintage caps with the 3 claw stripes down the side, and whatever's on the front it makes a difference. I've got one that's a kettle restaurant, if people remember the kettle restaurant, and it's a 3-striper. Those can go up to $1,500. And so what I do is I'll go on eBay and I'll filter everything above, say, $100 or $200 solds, and then look, and you'll see Harley Davidson, 3-stripe capbacks, $1,500, or snapback caps, $1,500, a USMC or John Deere, or tobacco, anything agriculture, tobacco, automotive, Ford, Goodyear, that's going to be valuable.
Adam Hartman made, hello, good morning and welcome. So when you're going out sourcing, like say, do you even go to any of the thrift stores in your area, or you go strictly to estate sales or garage sales, yard sales?
In the winter, I don't go to, if they're not any yard sales, I will go to a thrift store. I'm not a huge fan of Goodwill anymore, like a lot of people, because of what they've done, but I still will go in there, and you still can find treasures that they don't spot and raise the price on. I just sold a Taylor Swift t-shirt for $129, and I paid $333. But typically I go to yard sales, garage sales, or estate sales. I prefer family run versus company owned, but you can still find good deals. When I go to yard sales, I'm probably the first one out. I was at 2 yard sales in a neighborhood a half mile from me this weekend at 6:35 in the morning. The sun was just coming up, and as people were putting stuff up, I'm walking up, because there are a lot of resellers, and if you don't beat them, you're not going to get the good stuff. And in 2 cases, and it's probably never going to happen to me again, a couple weeks ago, I went to one, and the first guy was across the street, and he said, well, they're out putting signs up across the street. They're having one. And as I walk up the driveway with 2 other people similar in age to me, and the family that was running it was my age, I said, do y'all by a chance have any old ball caps or video games? She goes, well, I got video games. And so I look, and she didn't want hardly anything for them. And when I see the GameCube box, there's a GameCube console and 5 games. Those 5 games are, 3 of them are in the top 30 rare of GameCube games. And it was worth 462 sold comps. Just though she wanted $1 a piece.
Wow.
10 for the console. So not basically $15. I got it. Then the next day I'm in another neighborhood, and again, somebody said, oh, you look for video game stuff? There's a guy having one down the street. So I run down there. He's only got 3 games, but he's got 2 GameCube consoles. I ask him, what do you want? He says, $20 for the box. The 3 games were Pokemon GameCube games, and one of the games I'd got the day before. They're worth more than the 5 I got the day before.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I'm selling the consoles. I'm keeping the games because GameCube's kind of hot right now, and kind of like cards and other things. But yeah, I'll probably never find that kind of a back-to-back deal again at that price. But when I find it, and she had a lot of manga books, the anime, and I spent $90 on that, and I've already made my money back plus some. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, you kind of learn, and of course, if I got grandkids, I got one that's huge into anime, so I kind of know a little bit from her. Kids can be good teachers. Don't pass on them kids. They know how to do stuff that I don't know how to do.
Exactly. I want to say hello to Paul, the Flipping Sports Guy. Good morning, hello, and welcome. Dawn's channel. Hello, Dawn. Good morning and welcome. If somebody, for example, didn't know anything, just starting out, just starting to come on YouTube and or thinking about going into selling on eBay, what would be the 1 or top 2 tips that you would give somebody?
I would say watch other channels, and depending on what you think you want to get into, first of all, start in your own house by selling some of your own stuff or your family and friends stuff that maybe has valuable or has value. But once you decide to get into it, I suggest, and not everybody's going to agree with this, I like to do smalls. So if I can do video games and ball caps, those are easy to list, easy to ship. And the big bulky items I really kind of hate dealing with, but I will if there's enough profit, enough ROI on it. But I would say do the research. Not only look up what's hot, use Google, but other YouTubers. There are some that I've learned clothing tips from. There are, like Lula versus LuLaRoe. I'll sell anything and vintage. Some of them do. A lot of people on these channels just deal in toys, so you learn about toys. Of course, I'm older, so I've lived through a lot of this time frame. So when I see something, I kind of remember it. eBay is about memories, but people buying their memories,
right?
And I'm included in that. But I would suggest doing research, and then also, like I said, with the research on eBay, look up things like video games. Go to GameCube and or Google the top rare games. So when you see them, it may, depending on your memory and how it works.
Right.
I'm a picture person. I can't remember names, but I'll remember your face or the item. And but do research. Filter the higher end goods in each category and look for those things when you see them. And again, you'll find some things that are unique. And that's another thing, unique. Buy unique. It sells. Things that look odd and you want to buy it, and you can get it cheap, grab it and take chances. I take chances. If I can get it I bought, this is a funny story. I was at a sale. The lady had two little silver, they look like little mines in the Navy where they would mine the sea and ship it. And they were in a thing. And I said, what are those? And they were $2. And I said, she goes, I don't know what they are. And there was no way I couldn't figure out. There's no label. So I said, you know what, for $2, I'm going to grab them. They look cool. Got them home and I did the Google snapshot, and they were Japanese massage balls, therapy balls.
Oh, wow.
I put them on eBay, and within a day I sold them for $50. And I was like, there you go. You take chances and you buy sometimes things you don't even know what it is, but it looks cool.
Did it come in one of those nice boxes?
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of those sold, and so that's amazing. Reseller, I do live auctions night here. Oh, that's right. She does auctions every day on her channel. So if you haven't checked out her channel yet, there's a link. She does auctions on her channel, and I don't know if she still does other channels, but I know she used to. Picked a few of those GameCubes the other weekend. One comping around 50 to 60. Wow,
awesome.
Now, when you go garage sales or thrift shops or estate sales, do you try to bundle or make a pile kind of thing? And how does that work for you?
Huge bundler, huge. 90. I went into one day. The yard sale. I said, she had all these games. I said, how much you want? She said $1 a piece. So I count them all up, and there's 97 games, and I'll pay $1 for about any video game, and to my detriment, because I probably have 500 over here waiting to be listed. And you got to have a cleaner if you're going to sell a lot of video games. So I do have a JFJ Pro. But yeah, I like to, hey, if I buy more, and you see it, other people do it. Lonnie, Kevin, they all do bundle deals. Bundle deals are definitely the way to go. If you can, hey, I'll buy a bunch of these if you'll give me a good deal. And what is it going to come out to? $50. Okay. What would you do? And I always let the customer or the buyer or the seller give me the price. Only once have I ever quoted a price and they took it. And it was some video game consoles and games. And typically I'll let them give me the price and then we go from there. But I'm not as greedy as a couple of the people that I watch and love. If I know I'm going to make good money on it, I'm okay with that. Cause you don't know their situation, and I'm not going to say, you want $5 and I know I'm going to get 20, and I'll say, well, would you take 2? I'll pay the 5 if I'm going to make good enough money off of it, especially if it's big money. I'm good.
Hello, good morning, and welcome, Jules. And says, how much do you have it up for? They're talking to me. Johnny, I just picked up a huge collection of Boyd's bears recently, selling them at auction. Oh, cool. Yeah, I saw somebody else yesterday. Was it yesterday? Somebody was selling Boyd spares.
Well, it's funny. I didn't even think about this just now, but what I had on my head a while ago, I sold him. So I just sold him last night.
Oh, wow.
$25.
That is so cool.
And he's 1998. So
yeah,
plush is definitely something and I know Kajun Reseller's the big guy on that stuff, but I have made a lot of money off plush.
Yeah, I asked Chris one day. I didn't say buy, but I have my own collections that I'm trying to minimize. I'm trying to be a minimalist. So I've been trying to downsize on all the stuff I have. And I had a lot of Build-A-Bears, but it had the actual costumes on it or outfits on them. So I reached out to him and I asked him, I said, would it be better for me to sell them with the items of the costume or take them off and sell them separate? He said, sell them separate depending on what it is. So I looked up some of the stuff and it's like, wow, I can make more money by separating them. And I did. And I already sold the outfits and the bears separately. And it was
right. When in doubt, part of that. Kevin's
That's
favorite.
Right.
You know, it's funny because in my research and in my trials and errors, Barbies and G.I. Joes, even the vintage ones, and they're made in different countries. A lot of people, Barbies are made in Taiwan, Hong Kong, all over. It's not those dolls themselves, if they're loose, that are worth a lot of money. It's all the accessories and the clothes, because that's what kids lose. Right. The Monster High dolls I learned from Mimi Thrifter just recently. I've always picked those up, and I've made really good money. But it's the ones with the wrist and the ankles that turn. Mm-hmm. Those are the older ones, and those are worth more money than the newer ones where they don't, where they're not. Oh. And I didn't know that till a week ago, and I've been selling them. But luckily, I've been finding the ones with the movable wrists and ankles.
That is awesome. Now, with the JFJ that you have to clean your disc on, how often do you have to use that as far as to get the disc clean?
Whenever I do video games, I think Lonnie for a while when he bought all that makeup and jeans and people were getting tired of seeing it, and he kind of slowed down showing it. I've had spells where I've cleaned like 100 games and then I list them and then I sell. And so when I'm showing my what sold and there's 25 items and 20 of them are video games, I think people don't want to see. Not everybody wants to see video game sales,
right?
But when I get in a groove and I'm cleaning, I want to just move through a stack. And what I find is PS2 and Wii, you got to be careful with those systems because they'll wipe out the information. PS2s always seem to be scratched. Of course, PS1 and Xbox 360 and Xbox are something you almost have to clean. PS3s are one of the best discs that are clean that I found.
Yeah.
Of course, PS4s and Xbox Ones and stuff are newer, but I love selling the cartridges more than anything, and those are easy to clean with an alcohol and a swab.
Yeah.
It varies to the system, but when it's a high-end game, I'm really careful with it. But it's just messy. A JFJ is just a messy system.
I know. I just got mine recently, and I had to start cleaning some discs, and it does a wonderful job, but it's a mess. It's like, Lord Jesus.
It is.
But it is a good item. It's a good product. When you're going out sourcing, hello, Paul, Bobby, everybody. Good morning. Hello, and welcome, Paul. And so for me, when I go sourcing, I know I love going to, and I think a lot of people are making comments in reference to being afraid to make a pile when going to an estate sale. And I find that's the best way to do it because I've been doing really well with not only doing the estate sale bundles, so to say, but if things aren't priced, 9 times out of 10, that's when you really can bundle.
Yeah.
And that's what I did last week, not this weekend, but the week before that. I made some good little piles and a good little profit on some of those things already. So, yeah.
No, I always say, hey, can I make a pile here? I mean, I went to one where I spent my first yard sale last Friday was $157. First yard sale I went to, and Gwendolyn said, who follows my channel, said, hey, I would have went home after that because I got a bunch of Jordans and a bunch of name brand clothing.
Right.
I said, yeah, but that's not me. I went home and switched my Infinity G37 for my pickup truck and came back because I had bought a nativity set of blow molds.
Uh-huh.
So I got the 3 kings and Joseph, Mary, Jesus, and the sheep and the camel. And I said, what do y'all want for those? She said, $20.
Wow.
Worth about 500. So now how I'm going to ship them, I don't have a clue. I ain't even listed them, but I got to clean them up, test them and all that stuff. But I had to go get my pickup truck. Luckily I live close, but yeah, I make piles and I'm like those people you're talking about. I hate pricing my stuff when I hate, first of all, I hate having a yard sale. I love being at them, not having one.
Right.
I don't price my stuff unless it's just similar items because people are going to negotiate anyway. So
Right.
why take all that time? You know, we did the estate sale. It took us all day to price that house and look everything up. But I hate pricing. I just want people to make me a deal because if it's out there, I want it gone.
Exactly.
So,
all right, I'm gonna give the show to you for a few minutes. Somebody's at my door. My dog will bark. I'll be right back.
All right. Hot dog, we're alone. Thanks everybody for being here. You didn't know I was going to be here, Scooby Doo. Hey, Paul, Philly Flipper in here. I bet you don't got one of these. Oh, got to take my hat off. Ruby Doo. Hey, Paul, I bet you don't collect Scooby Doo, just Pokemon. By the way, I found a Bulbasaur t-shirt this weekend. But you collect like Charizard or something. And I probably ain't even saying it right. I don't think I've ever watched Pokemon, to be honest with you. I just sell it. So I hope everybody's sales are good. I hope they were good this weekend. And yeah. Mine were really good. And you'll have good days and bad days. Thanks, Paul. I hope you're wearing that hat, Paul Flippin' Sports Guy. As soon as I saw that, I said, you know, he's at 500 subscribers. Congratulations again, Flippin' Sports Guy, Paul. There's so many Pauls in here. And I hope you wear it a lot. Just don't sell it because I gave it to you. Oh, by the way, Game of Thrones. That's what all them Funko Pops are, Game of Thrones. Charizard. Do I say it wrong, Passports and Pizza Pies? Charizard, I don't know. It's like I got corrected by my 13-year-old granddaughter this weekend. I took her some manga books. I said, yeah, I got some manga books. She goes, Dad, Grandpa, it's manga. I was like, okay, manga. I sell it. I don't care if I pronounce it right. When I type it, it's correct. Remember now, I'm old, so. One of the boys said, ooh, Giants, you're going to sell it. I said, no, that's rude. Yeah. Heck, I sold a Dallas Cowboys Super Bowl hat, and I'm a Cowboy, so if it's got money, it's out the door. Heck, I say JT if people gave me enough for him. Well, maybe not. Hey, good morning, Miss Thrifty. I hope you're on the treadmill when you're watching me. I don't know why I remember that. One day you're like, I'm on the treadmill while I'm watching. I'm like, man, I should be on the treadmill while I'm watching. But I need to lose weight. You don't. But keto works, folks. Just got to give up Mexican food and things I love. Not yet. I need to get to walking so I can be in Maui shape to go snorkeling. I don't want them sharks mistaking me for no whale. They usually ask me to dance when I go to the luau's because I look like the big old guys. I guess I better give me some. Good. If you have questions and you want to know about things, I also have an Instagram, the capguy_Oklahoma, and I'm happy to answer questions, on things that you may or may not know. I don't know everything. I'm like everybody else. We all learn daily. I still learn, but I do know quite a bit. But not about tools. That's the one thing people say. Hey, as soon as I walk up to a yard sale, older people go, yeah, I don't know if we got many tools. I'm like, I'm the least handy guy you'll ever know. I mean, I barely can hit a hammer on a nail. I'm kidding. I can do a little bit, but not much. FSP. Oh. So has everybody's sales been good? Hello, Jen. Jen, I found a Bulbasaur t-shirt this weekend, brand new for $1. All
right, I'm back. Whew.
Did I say that one right?
Some packages that came in.
Oh, was it already?
Yeah.
Oh, you're an hour ahead of me.
Well, the post office usually passes pretty early here.
Yeah.
And when he does it, he brings the mail to the door, but it's been raining outside, so I wanted to see if that's what it was. I mean, we do have the door that I can see who it is, the ring doorbell. But I don't like leaving packages out there, especially when it's raining.
Now, I have a buddy that also has a YouTube channel. If y'all haven't seen him, Man Mountain Link, and he's got a different kind of sense of humor, warped sense of humor like me. But he lives in rural Tennessee, and he takes his packages and he puts them in a mesh sack and hangs them off the mailbox out by the road. I said, hey, aren't you worried about somebody coming along? And I mean, we have people that will steal them out of your mailbox, and you're hanging them out there where people can see. He goes, everybody within 3 or 4 miles of me is a relative, and we all got guns. I was like, okay, I guess that's the answer to that one.
I'm trying to remember who it was. Somebody said that they had an old, like one of those hard plastic type toy boxes that he had to decide the road that he actually leaves the packages in there for the postal clerk to pick it up when he goes by his house. Can I remember who does that? But it was amazing when he said that. I was like, really? One of the things I want to bring up and ask you, because I know I just did it this weekend, and I was curious because I've been hearing a lot of people talking about selling on Facebook Marketplace. And I went to sign up for it, and it asked me like for my tax ID, and because I did it under my business. And I had to verify all the information, and it asked me to do my tax ID number. And the minute I did that, it automatically promoted me to the next page of shipping, to where I'm able to do shipping. So I just signed up for it. Have you ever thought about doing the Facebook?
I have, and there's been people that have made channels on how to do it, and same with Amazon. Amazon's a pain because of the gating. I don't want to even mess with it. When you got 3,900 items, I don't have enough time to divert and take things down and all that. But as far as Facebook, I do local pickups on big ticket items or big items, but I've never shipped on it. I know there's pros and cons to it. I've looked at Mercari and some of those, and I've actually thought about doing some of my clothing on Mercari. I didn't have a good experience with Poshmark, so I don't mess with that because you got to get a following, kind of like Instagram and other things. But I have quite a following now on Instagram, but I haven't tried selling anything on there. I just kind of.
I'm trying to remember, what's the name of the platform that sells only men's clothing? Grail, I think it is, or
no, I've never heard of that.
It's a platform that and I might be wrong. I want to say hello and welcome to Moon Goddess Treasures. It was a great be able to see your live auction this weekend. So good job, and I was glad to be able to catch it. Welcome. Let's see. I had 13 sales on Facebook this weekend. The best weekend yet. Okay. Like I said, I just signed up for it, so I'm trying to see. I may do a little bit just to see before I'm thinking about doing. I'm hearing a lot of the different cross-posting platform things that they have. So I'm kind of checking into that as well before I even decide on any of that. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a few pieces on the Facebook Marketplace, see how it works before I go any further. Melanie, hello, welcome, and good to see you. New in the community, but I guarantee she's not new to YouTube. So just saying, you might want to check her out.
Yeah, some of the clothing, the big majority of that name brand clothing I bought, it was all 4X. And in some brands like Ralph Lauren Polo, I won't buy clothing anymore. I've learned I've got tons of Polo shirts still, and I've got the prices down so low I'm just barely going to break even to get. But the bigger sizes, 4X, 3X, 4X, 5X, for people like me when I was 4X, it's hard to find. You can't go to the Nike store or Academy or anywhere and find anything because it's 2X is it. Right. So I definitely will buy the bigger sizes. And in answer to Jen, I think it's a women's XL or a women's large, but I think XL. I'll have to check. And then somebody asked me how much time I devote to shipping. It depends on how many packages I got, but I'm retired UPS and I spent all that 35 years in transportation. I kind of know my way around shipping, but it's an hour, 2 hours, depending if I hold off on after Saturday when I go to the post office and I don't ship like till this morning, I could have, 30 packages and it'll take me a couple of hours to get all that out depending on what it is.
Kevin, this is Bobby. He wants to know who the guest is. Let me take this thing off so you can see. That's the cap guy and JT. That's Bobby. I need to put his information in the description bar as well. I didn't do it yet. I'm sorry about that, but I did put it. I'm gonna get it from a private chat here.
Hey, is he still down in Mexico?
Yeah, he is. Somebody was talking about that this week, and we're having a conversation in one of the chats, and he happened to be in there. Was saying how they didn't realize it was him.
Right.
So yeah, I decided to join the Facebook group this weekend, but I've been hearing a lot of people talking about the list perfect and cross posts and all the different cross posting things they have out there. I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do, but I am going to look into it. Never ending saga, Kevin. Hello and welcome.
And my take on listing is that's the part, and I know me and you both do it differently. I used to take pictures when I just did jerseys and had a couple hundred things on eBay and then download them and do them from the computer. I use my iPhone X and I can list just about anything within 2 minutes. So when I get in a groove on ball caps, which are very easy to list, and I'm very anal about pictures, I'll use almost every picture.
Hello, Amber.
Games. And so I use my phone and I can do the research, snap the pictures, list it, all the details within a couple of minutes. And I've had people actually time me, and I'm like, it's not a big deal. It's just, you got to have everything handy right there by you, and you just grab it, do the measurements. If it's clothing, clothing a little bit slower, but you take the pictures and tags and all that stuff, all the measurements, armpit, all that stuff. And, but you got to have it all kind of have an organized like assembly line and then move it out. Where I fail is sometimes tagging it immediately and put it in the inventory room. And I get help with that sometimes. But when you have 3,900 items, sometimes you go, okay, where did I put that? And the older you get, so I do have an inventory system for the most part.
What kind of system do you do or use?
I mean, it's kind of like what John and some of the others do. I was really against what Cincinnati Picker was doing with just putting mixture of things in a bin. But now I'm more of a fan of it, even though I have T-shirt bins. And for a while we just did black shirts and blue shirts and gray shirts. And what I found was I would end up with 3 huge totes of nothing but black and blue shirts because they're the primary color people wear.
Right.
And then every time I'd have to find one, it would take me 30 minutes to find that shirt, and it kills your profits. So we started bagging and tagging and putting it in my custom SKU of where it is, like a lot of people do. And so that's what I do.
Right, Jules has a question for you. How do you clean the insides of a cap where there may be hard sweat?
I did a video a few months ago on how to clean caps, especially old vintage ones with the foam falling out. A lot of times when you immerse those in the water, the foam's going to come out, and I do clean those. But typically I use baking soda and vinegar and water, or I'll use OxyClean, and I hand wash them. I don't do any washer dryer, put them in the washer dish machine. I do my dishes by hand. I'm not going to wash caps in the dishwasher. But I use a toothbrush or a Brillo pad, not a Brillo pad, but a sponge with the scrubber on it to get the sweat stains out as best you can. And then I hang dry them. And that works for me. You're going to get some caps that are vintage where the bills are really brittle. And if they break, that cap's no good. And same with the snap in the back. If it's a snapback, if it breaks, they're no good, except maybe to you as a display. But I really take care to clean the caps and shoes and all that stuff. And caps are not that hard, but if they're beyond repair, then I'll go ahead and show and list it and describe what's wrong with it. So if somebody wants it, because again, they're buying their memories. And
again, I know you were saying earlier how everybody's different with listing. For me, I used to have this thing where it was like an assembly line. Take the pictures, do this, and this. And Robert started selling on eBay. And so I was like, wait a minute, what are you doing? How are you doing it? I see him only taking pictures and then he's done and he's starting to do his draft. It's like, what are you doing to do that fast? Well, then he showed me and it's like, wait, I'm going to try this. So now what I do is I actually do the draft, take the pictures in the draft. And that's all I got to do is come to the computer and update, adjust any pictures, check the T's, dot the I's, that kind of thing.
Okay.
And my listing is a lot faster now. So like this morning I did 14 listings. Now after this shows up, when I get my other part of things I got to get done, my next thing is to start getting more drafts done. Right. And for me, that works even faster. So for me, every time you try something, like I say this a lot, do what works best for you, but you may have to try different things to see how and what's going to work for you.
And I tell people that all the time. You know, what works for me may not work for you. You may be part-time and doing this with a family and kids running around. It's all different. I by myself, I got 2 dogs that are like kids, one out constantly. They run out more than my kids did. But it's time, and I try to list 20, depending on what I'm listing. If it's clothing items, I try to get at least 20 up a day. And then if it's video games or ball caps, I can list 40 in a couple hours easily.
Right.
So it depends on what it is, but you list, you promote, you send offers. So I'm tied to my eBay all day long and all night long. I mean, you know, you're a reseller when you go to the bathroom at 2 a.m. and you come back to see if you had a sale. And I do that. And I'm sure a lot of you do that too. Or you'll be at a restaurant and you hear cha-ching and you're going to look at it. You know, it's like, okay, What is it?
Actually, speaking of, I just got another offer.
Thanks.
A bow tie that I bought for 50 cents. Yeah. Pretty cool.
What was it? 50 cents into what?
A bow tie that I bought for 50 cents. You can only pay 50 cents for it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that plush I sold the other day just blew me away. I mean, I knew Five Nights at Freddy's plush was valuable, and I paid $20 for a whole bag, and I've got the rest of the bag for $150, and it's worth over $200 on eBay. But that golden bear, that little bear from 2016, if he's golden, he's worth a bunch. And I sold him for $165, and I just shake my head sometimes and go, they paid $165 for a plush? Okay, I'll sell it.
I'll take it. Yeah.
Now, if you buy it, I'll ship it to you.
Well, just like this weekend, I had a hat that I had listed for like $24 and some change. Somebody said they'd offer for $20. Well, of course I'm gonna take it. I only paid $2 for the hat.
Right.
Yeah. You know, it's pretty cool when you get those kind of sales. And I just started recently, believe it or not. I have some listed that I bought, some models, the ones that you have to put together.
Uh-huh.
It's like the minute I sold one, then others come right behind it.
You know, it's funny you say that because I've seen that happen too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or somebody cancels on you and you relist it and somebody else buys it real quick. You know, maybe they were watching it or something. I don't know.
Oh, by the way, today, Amber, Country Ben and her husband Mike will be on the Mindful merch today. There's the link. Save it for this evening. It's at 4 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, I saw
Amber and Mike are friends of mine on Facebook, and I'm always commenting on her stuff.
Yeah. I love their videos. I love you're a reseller if.
Oh yeah, I've had a couple on there.
Yeah,
when I moved my mother to a retirement home, I had apartment that's over 55, and I was in a U-Haul, and on the way there, I saw a yard sale sign, and so I pulled you're a reseller when you're moving somebody and you see a yard sale sign and you pull a U-Haul down the street.
I love that when I saw that.
And what happened was there was nothing for me, but my mom needed a TV stand and a couple other things. This lady was moving out of state, and I got them, and I had just enough room to get them in there. I was like, okay, it worked out.
Yep. I could go back and sleep without. Yeah. I usually, for me, if I go up, we have 3 floors in the house. So if my phones stay on the second floor in the kitchen, I have them on the charger set where I have everything. The minute I'm going up the stairs for the 3rd floor to go to bed, I don't bring the phones with me. So usually I don't check my phones until I wake up in the morning.
Oh, wow.
I'm just at that point now where, like yesterday, I packed everything from yesterday. It was like 14 packages. I got them all done yesterday. I wanted to get that out of the way because I knew I wanted to get some things done this morning. And then, of course, I had a couple more sales come through, so I got those out the way. And so the best thing for me is I try to keep on it. Now, usually I don't work on Sundays except for doing my thumbnails or setting up the videos for the week, for the lives. But yes, it was just one of those things that I just want to pop it out, because I had so many. Yender's back under 100. We need to get him back over 100, y'all.
I'll make sure I subscribe when I get off
That's
here.
Unbelievable.
Yenzer.
Brooches on sale Thursday, 10 p.m. There's the link. Real hits. Oh, cool.
You know,
if y'all looking for brooches,
Amber should be doing videos on. They should be called, instead of Out Country Sales, Crash Bandicoot, because they seem to crash a lot.
Yeah, you're right about that one.
I'm sure I'll get a comment on that.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and put the link in the chat for the StreamYard if anybody would like to come on. And yes, I noticed that Kevin put in the chat that I hit over 900 this weekend. I did hit 905. It's been bouncing back and forth from 903 to 905, but that's fine because I'm on that last leg of the race, so to say.
Must be nice.
Look, I got over 18,000 watch hours, but now to get the actual subs.
Yeah, you deserve it. You've been doing that. You're so welcoming, and I just appreciate it.
Thank you. I don't know, Roots, Boris. Oh, they're talking back and forth to Boris and Natasha. And again, when you're doing different types of sourcing, you have to be able to look outside the boxes. I've seen a lot of videos where it's like, wait, that sales? I would have never thought, So that makes you think when you're watching other channels, what are they selling? What are they sourcing? The only thing that gets me really ticked off, so to say, is when I see somebody, I'm at a garage sale and they have that little paper that says it's sold or here's what it's going for on eBay. So I go ahead and look at it on eBay and it's like, no, that's what's listed. That's what they're asking for. That's not what they got.
I'm the same way.
And
I'll
I'm not afraid to use my phone.
Show them. Yeah, I'll show them. I'm like, okay, this is what it's sold for, but I got to make money too.
Yeah.
If it's out here, but if it's too much, it's too much, and I walk away. But it's hard sometimes because it might be something you really want to grab.
Well, for me, I have to say that for me, if I see something that is a little bit bigger than usual and I don't want to ship it on eBay, I will bring it home, clean it up, tag it, inventory it, and it's going to my antique booth. Because I've been doing really well with that for things that I would not have bought normally to resale. So now I'm at the point where I just pick up anything I can make a deal on. And if I can actually peel, like for example, the last one I went to, 4 IKEA bags that I filled up. And I asked the lady, I said, how much for all of it? She wouldn't give me a total. She says, what you think? I don't know why, but on the top of my mind, I said $30. She said, sold. I couldn't get the money out of my pocket fast enough.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. And
usually I
don't come up usually with the first amount. I let them do it. Right. When we're sitting there and it's like, well, what do you think? Well, what do you want? No, what do you think? Okay, what about $30? And when they said sold, yeah, but usually I don't do that. But yeah,
when I got the $15 GameCube thing, it was worth over $550. I was like, I couldn't get to my car fast enough.
Exactly. You think you're stealing it or something? You got to hurry and go. Yeah.
I was like, if I don't find anything else today, this has made my day.
Exactly. Yeah. And so that's how I am. I'll try to bundle as much as I can, and I love going to estate sales and doing that. Especially like 2 weeks ago, I went to one. And on the table, they had these bags of jewelry. Each one was marked $60 a piece. So I'm over here gathering stuff and putting it in the front by the table because I've already filled up 2 IKEA bags. And so I said, well, how much what would be the lowest you take on these 3 bags? He said, I don't know. How much you want to pay for it? I said, $30. So the guy come back and says, no, man, I got to get about 50, 55 for these at least. I'll come out of my little pile and I put it back on the table. I turned around and go pay the rest of it. He says, well, what about you go ahead and have them for $35 a bag? I said, sure, I'll take it. So yeah, I love it. When you walk away saying, nah, I can leave it.
Right.
You have to see what they're gonna do, sometimes. The guy that I went to for his estate sale, I've dealt with him before, like this is my 3rd estate sale going to, and he always does that. So I already know what he does. And so I'm trying to make a connection to where after the fact, because there was a lot of nice stuff that I just didn't want to buy and see kind of thing, but I would have taken it if it was, towards the end. But this was like their 2nd day. So it's like, nah, I'll leave it.
I will sub to you, Yenzer Picker. I'll look him up here when we're done here and I'll subscribe. Maybe get you over 100.
Really?
Yeah, the estate sale that we ran, I just couldn't believe some of the stuff that he had in there and they had kept. I mean, there were kids' clothing like a Batman t-shirt from 1964.
Yeah.
Single stitch and all that. And I just was blown away by some of the stuff that they just kept. And we called the family and said, hey, there's a letter jacket in here from 1980. Is it? And she goes, oh, that was mine, but I didn't really like high school, so I don't want it. It's like, okay, so we sold it, but furniture and hanging lamps off the chain, like they used to do in the 70s, because I was a teenager in the 70s.
Right.
And I remember all that stuff, and it brought back a lot of memories, but there was stuff that I had no clue. And once we looked it up, I mean, Starburst plates, and like butter dishes that were worth $90, just the butter dish.
Mm-hmm.
I would never pay $90. I'm going to Dollar General and get me one for $1.
Good morning, Jennifer. She's already putting links in the chat. By the way, Bobby is now at 866. I know there's a few of y'all in here. We got 33 in here. I'm sure there's at least half of y'all that might not know who he is. We'll check out his channel and sub to him. Also, Dawn from Two Hip Chicks. Hello, good morning, and welcome, Dawn. I'm here. Got it. Yep. Kevin was dropping them links too. Yenzer. We got to get Yenzer over 100. He's at 96. Let me refresh him.
Here, I'll do it real quick.
97. So he's 3 more away from 100, but you know how that goes. We want to get him over the 100, not at 100. So I'm sure we can do it before the end of the show today. Let's see if we can do it and get Bobby over that the 866 he's at. Good morning, Jim's Gems. How are you doing? Jim's Closet. I don't know what's it. Jim's Gems. So yeah, this weekend was pretty good. I watched Angie's show last night. She got it to like 80 people at one time. She had a hard time keeping up with the chat. It was awesome.
I'm 98, Ginger. I'm 98.
There you go. And of course, Bobby, we need to get him some more subs. He's at 860. Let me refresh. 6. We hit 100 twice last week. Oh,
I used to make a video every single day, and I backed off of it just because of the time that it takes, and it just felt like it wasn't really gaining anything. So I was like, hey, let's go back to making money on eBay, and I'll put out videos. But now I got 4 days of sales I got to show, and I don't know if anybody wants to see 4 days of sales. Because I show everything, good and bad. I want you to see the stuff I made $5 on, the stuff I made $150 on. Right. But I don't feel like I should just highlight the good stuff. I need to show you the bad stuff too. And a lot of that in video games, when you're dealing with video games or ball caps and you're buying bundle deals, you're spending $100 for, 500 ball caps or something, and you go through them, you're going to find losers. Yep. And so you're going to make $5 or $10. But ball caps, typically, if you're paying $1 or $2 for them, you're going to get at least $10, $15 for a ball cap.
Right. And I've been happy with that because of the fact that if I'm going to estate sales or even thrift shops or thrift stores or flea markets, if I can find hats for $1 or less, I'm taking them, depending on what they are. Right. I will search and see if there's any like it or any comps. But 9 times out of 10, if I can make at least $10 or $15 on a hat that I pay maybe $1 or 50 cents for, no more than I usually go no more than $2. I think I'm doing pretty good with those because then I'm getting a good price on them, so I'll buy them. But
I bought a Garth Brooks "Rope in the Wind" album ball cap today for 50 cents. And it was his third album from 1991. So it's like, okay, there's only one on eBay and it's like $100. So I think I got mine at like 65. So you just never know. And you clean them up and make them presentable. And I've got a George Strait. It ain't worth that much, but I'm keeping it because he's my favorite.
Right. I have a whole bunch of sealed albums, sealed. And I've been doing really well with those. And I paid, I want to say it was $125 for the whole lot. And I'm already over $1,000 in profit.
Wow!
And I still have made a few left.
Boris and Natasha, it's probably a couple of months old. And just look; it'll say "How I Clean Caps." That's the title. And just go back in my videos, and you'll see. And if you have a problem with it, let me know, and I'll put a link in my next video of it, which I may make today or not. It just depends. I got to get this stuff listed that I picked up Friday. I try to get everything cleared by like Wednesday or Thursday, so Friday I can go yard selling again.
Right.
And every time I get this room clean, I'm like, oh, I can move in here. And then I replenish it.
Ella was actually on Dina's channel yesterday, if y'all didn't catch it.
Yeah, Ella's a great friend that always says hi.
Yep. And after I saw her yesterday on Dina's channel last night, I seen her on another channel before, and I want to say it was Mindful Merch that she was on. I'm not 100% sure, but I remember seeing her once before, and I did not realize I put the two together when I saw her. Yeah, she lives in Florida.
Yeah, I think her and Paul Flippin' Sports Guy are in every channel watching.
Yeah,
and but they're always supportive of the channel, and that we appreciate. It's a great community, so I know people say that all the time, but a lot of people are supportive of each other. And, we all have our tastes. I have people, the big channels that I started with. I think Shed Flips was the first guy I ever watched. And I got into watching Matt, and I got into watching Kevin and John and Rally Roots and some of those. I don't watch all of them anymore. As a matter of fact, I watch some of them religiously, but I try to support more of the small channels and watch their videos to help them along. And some are, my content's not the greatest, I'll admit it, but JT makes it different.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
I have to say though, I think everybody starts out that way because I know when I did a year and 4 months ago, I was watching all of them, including like lots of Josh and Tommy the Bargain Effects. There's a whole array of them that I used to watch. I mean, I still watch them now, but not as much. But I still go up and catch up on some of their videos. Right. There's just so many to watch. I missed the show yesterday. Oh, cool. Yes, and I hope everybody had a good Mother's Day yesterday. There you go. Jules just subbed to you. So do me a favor, everyone in the chat, go ahead and drop your links in the chat. That way, for those who are in here that may not know who you are or know that you do content, drop your links to where they can check it out and subscribe to you. And make sure you hit the notification so you don't miss out on anything. If anybody wants to come in the chat, the link is in the top of the chat. It is in the little blue box. You're more than welcome to come on in. Yeah, I put out another video this past weekend. I got a gift package kind of thing. It was like one of those what you call those things again? Instead of a chainlet, it's a package.
Mm-hmm.
And I did the video this weekend, and I was trying to be different and creative with that video. And I'm proud of myself for that video because I'm getting a lot of compliments. And Robert even said, "Wow." And usually Robert doesn't say anything, but okay, I'm gonna watch it, that kind of thing. Yeah, he was like, "Wow." It's like, yeah, I'm trying different things. I'm trying to be different in some of my videos. And so
my kids don't always watch my videos, and I'm like, you see my video? No, Dad, I don't watch that. I'm like, okay, when I die, that's going to be your link to me. You're going to go back and watch all those videos. So I'll be like, hey, we want to see Dad in video. We don't have a lot of videos of each other. We got pictures. Like, okay, you'll go back and watch my YouTube channel.
Yeah, exactly. But Robert will watch some of the videos, but he doesn't go back and watch the lives. That's one thing. It's too long unless he's off that day or he's traveling and he wants to watch the morning show. He'll catch it, but that's about it.
Oh, I have I call them my Motley Crew. I made a Motley Crew video where I took the song and changed the words up, like you said, the eBay theme.
Uh-huh.
And so there's some people that have been with me since the beginning, and I appreciate that there always have been pretty loyal and stayed with me. And then all the new people I appreciate. But I have a little Motley Crew and that I started with. But you know, I know those of you that have channels, it's frustrating when you're trying to grow. And I was doing a video every day for a year, 7 days a week, and it just got to the point where you get frustrated and people go, "Oh, no, keep it up, we love it." But JT is what keeps me, going, and I enjoy doing the entertainment. I mean, we've done Chris Farley, we've done John Belushi. We sing songs, we don't care. I got a copyright claim the other day when my brother said "Do Old Man" by Neil Young, and so I thought, well, I can't do the music in the background, and my voice isn't that great, and neither is JT's. And so I did the karaoke in the background.
Uh-huh.
And I got a copyright claim. And I was like, okay, no more karaoke. That's it. I mean, I got plenty of hours.
Not all of the karaoke songs you'll get a claim on. I have some on my channel that I did, and I posted them, and I do have one that's a claim. The only thing with a claim is you just won't be getting the royalties, or you won't be getting any, once you get monetized, the money that would be made for that video would go to the monetization instead of to you to go to the rightful owner.
Right.
As long as it's not an actual strike, you're okay.
Yeah.
But again, if I'm not mistaken, if you go back to that song that you used, if you put that link, did you get the karaoke off of YouTube?
Yeah.
Take it in the bottom. There's going to be a disclaimer you have to put into your description, and you'll be okay.
Okay.
That's the only reason you'll take
almost 6,000 hours. It's not the hours; it's the subs that I don't have to get monetized. But
right. But you still want to make sure that's like that before you get monetized. Because from what I hear, once you do, it makes it easier for you to get all your videos monetized. Right. But again, if you go back and put the disclaimer, it's like giving the copyright to the right person in your description. You'll be okay. Because I watch Warden, I think Wade, I think his name is. He does a major karaoke video on his channel, and every time he does it, he even talks about how you have to put that into your description bar.
Yeah, I watch Jamel AK Jamal, and he does reviews on songs, which me and you lived through, and songs he's either never heard or he's never seen who performs it, and he does reviews, and I love his show, and he has like 150,000 subscribers. But he's really good at reviewing the songs. So he'll listen to Tears for Fears or something. Everybody wants to rule the world. And he'll stop the video and go, wow, I just didn't know, or, play or maybe come back or something. And he goes through it. And it's more me kind of like watching American Idol when they audition. For the first time, I'm getting to see his reaction to a song that I lived through. When John Travolta carried the paint bucket in 1977 in Saturday Night Fever, I was 18, so I lived in the disco era and spent more time than I want to say in the discos. But
hello, Leroy. Good morning. Hello and welcome. Now, I have a question for you about when you're doing these videos. I know they're pre-recorded, so I know you're coming up with how many times do you have to do a retake, or
I
how
don't.
many times you don't?
I
You
don't
just
do.
wing
I
it.
don't. They're not pre-recorded. I sit here in the morning, and if I haven't shipped the stuff, I show it live, and if I have, I show you the screenshot of it, and I come up with whatever. I don't come up with a skit. Sometimes I just have a like, hey, we're going to talk about something that was in my sales, and he'll start off with something that, yeah, you bought that stupid plush. Why would you buy that alligator thing? I'm scared. Or the alien back here. We've used the
Yeah,
alien a
that was
ton.
a funny one.
And Cheetos, and I had to real quickly in my head, it just thinks, I mean, I should be committed probably. It's like JT's being abducted to Nibiru, and the only thing they have on Nibiru is Cheetos and Dr. Pepper. And then JT goes, and then for a day, he wasn't on my show. And I said, but they've kicked him. I've got word that he's coming back because they kicked him off because he was harassing the people on the island or on the planet and he was eating all the Cheetos and Dr. Pepper. So they're sending him back. So we did a little skit, and I just think of this stuff as I'm going, and then I sit down and put it all together on Video Shop, and then I throw it out there. I don't edit anything. There's a lot of mistakes. I got a buddy that watches me, and he goes, oh yeah, he goes, yeah, I saw this and you messed up and said this, or I'll call a VHS tape an 8-track tape. I don't care. I don't care if I catch it when I'm, uploading the video. I'll pop in the correct information. But I'm like, you know what? That's what I like, is that I don't edit. I want you to see the mistakes because I am human and we all make them.
And I was just curious because I know I love watching it because it's funny, first of all. I sometimes can't stop laughing with the stuff you come up with JT. But my biggest and the best one so far was when you bought, supposedly there was a puppy or dog that bought it and they didn't tell you.
Shep, the dog, yeah. And I found him at a yard sale for $5. When I see puppets, I buy them.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, I can use this in my video. But Shep is a beautiful sheepdog. And I thought, $5 for that big old thing? JT's got a dog now.
Yeah.
He goes to the park and he won't clean up. And that was the other day where it was like, he went to the park and he wouldn't pick up the doodle. And so he got in an argument with a lady, and it was like, he goes, I don't pick it up. You don't pick it up here in your backyard. Why should I pick it up? So we just kind of went back and forth.
I know.
And I was like, well, mine are little dogs, and they're back there in the corner. They're not out all over the yard. So,
good morning, hello, and welcome to Patrick Murphy. Gotta see y'all all at 12. That he's doing his show at 12. More and Leroy at 11. That is today. Is that every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, Leroy? I think so. I already shared it. Yeah, Jennifer's been dropping a lot of links. So has Kevin. Check out and see if you're subscribed to Bobby.
Jennifer's great.
JT, yeah, she's been nonstop. 867 for Bobby. And Jens let's see where you at. 98.
When I get to 1,000, I'm giving away Johnny's entire store.
Yeah, right. I love it. That's one thing I have to say too. Whenever you're on live with, talk a little bit about you and Angie, as far as the way y'all do y'all lives and what y'all do on the show.
We rotate every other week. For a little while, I was letting her do them because she needed the hours. Now her subs have taken off. We rotate every other week on Wednesday, 7 Central Time, and it's a lot of chat. Last week I came up with, we try to come up with new stuff, and last week I thought, I'm going to come up with something different. And so what I did was we did 4 takes each of 3 items. So we would pop up 3 different items, and I would say, okay, this is this, and I would actually look up the sold comps on it. And recent sold comps. Tell me which one's worth more in what order, 1, 2, 3. And so I would show them this, and I would show them a plush, and I would show them a ball cap. You tell me which one's worth more. I did a Pokemon game of GameCube that was worth $200, and a plush, and another thing, and let people guess. And typically, it was pretty interesting because I was like, okay, there's a lot of people still need to do research on this stuff because it's valuable. But they were fairly similar in price, valuation. But it was just something different, and I think everybody really enjoyed it. So when it's on my channel, which this week it's on Angie's, I don't know what she's going to do, but next week I'm going to do it again because it's just a lot of fun to go in and I don't say we talk a lot about eBay. We just get to chatting and we'll get on our favorite music or our favorite. But
Right.
the one thing I love about my channel when I'm doing it is I like to interact with everybody in my chat.
Mhm.
I like to read every message and I want the people that are there to participate because that's why I'm doing this is participation. Right. So I'm not going to just sit and talk to whoever I'm talking to and just and let that be it. I want the people to have a part in this show because some people don't want to make videos and some people like me, I have no shame, so I don't care. But you know, we're all different, and so I want you to feel like you can come here and feel at home and feel. We've had people on our shows that are afraid to come on, and then we get them on, they're comfortable, and they start a YouTube channel. So we're going to make you feel at home. That's just
right. And that's what's part about the morning show too. I want everybody to feel comfortable coming in. Right. I want them to feel that they can ask any question they can, and this is an open platform where it doesn't matter because everybody has their own opinions. It doesn't mean it's right or it's wrong. Right. But that doesn't mean that what I'm doing is wrong because that's what's working for me compared to what you do that's working for you. Right. And so the thing about the good thing about the morning show is I like to show the different variety of things that everybody does differently because someone can pick up on what you're doing and say, well, maybe I can try that and see if it works for me. Right. And that's what I like about on the morning show. Also, I want to say, Leroy, if you want to come on for a few minutes and talk about your show, you do not have to worry about going off on what was the comment you said earlier? Never wants to cross or interact with your show. You're fine. I usually, when I do the morning show, when I finally got to the morning, I remember I used to start, for those that may not know, I used to do the show in the evenings and on Saturdays. Like, you know how, and I think of it this way. When I first started, it was almost like the newscast. You know how you have to start in the evening or night shift and work your way to the morning? And that's how I did it. And so for me, you don't have to worry about that because for me, when I see somebody coming on at a certain time and I see my numbers are dropping in the chat, I usually make sure to post and promote the next person coming on so that way everybody can go and support you or that channel. Right. So as long as I know you're coming on, I don't mind promoting your channel, pushing you to that channel. Not saying not pushing, but more of directing everybody to say, look, let's go support this one. Because again, that's only right and fair because everybody's trying out, everybody's doing what they got to do. But we all here to support each other. And
I'll be the first to say I'm not the great YouTube editor or the videographer that some people are that are really good at it, like a Tesla picker or somebody. But I am transparent and I'm going to entertain you a little bit, whether you find it funny. So it's all kid friendly jokes. Correct. And then I'm going to show you transparency in everything I sell. So you see the good and the bad. And if you want to see that stuff and learn a little bit, watch it. If you don't, it may not be your channel. You know, and again, I think most of the people that follow my channel, in my analytics they were all pretty much my age. Now I'm getting some people in the 30s and 40s, but it's primarily women that watch the channel for whatever reason. I think that JT looks like Channing Tatum, so they think it's Channing Tatum. I think he looks more like Tom Jones, but
I want to comment on Perfecting Pros' comment. And it's true. You just like, for example, for me, when you're in somebody's chat and you're just chatting along, and this was a while back, and all of a sudden you see somebody that like, for example, Nola, I knew it was New Orleans. And I saw someone typing in the chat and we started communicating back and forth in the chat. Kind of found out she was my cousin. Not knowing she was also in reselling. She's still in Louisiana, but I'm here in Massachusetts. But that's how we found out. And so you just never know if it's a friend or a family member who's actually doing the same thing you're doing, and they just start talking about it. What song should I sing today? Bobby, the struggles is real. Being a reseller, yes, it is.
Yeah.
Thank you. I have to get better than that. On next.
It's a lot of work, and when you're doing a daily video, it's you think, well, I'm spending 2 hours putting a video together and waiting for the upload, and I should be listing. And so now I've kind of gone away from daily videos and just trying to make money on eBay, and that's where my money comes from. But I will.
Good morning, Mark.
I'm like you. I love making them, but
Yenzer only needs 2 more for his 100 again. That's been a yo-yo thing. That's one thing I don't understand because I do know that I've noticed YouTube has been 2 days behind on their information.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Every time I look at my numbers, it's 2 days behind. So
Ciela they want to see JT. I'm like, well, maybe I should just have JT do the show. I'd probably be over 1,000 now.
Yeah, really.
I think when I go to Maui, I'm taking him with me, and he's actually got his Hawaiian shirt on now.
Oh, we got to see this.
Oh yeah, he can't wait. He can't wait. So.
Oh, wow.
I'm going paddleboarding. Yeah, you're going paddleboarding my tail. I am. You're going to be out there with me, you old fat boy. So yeah, he doesn't.
How do you get the clothing for him?
Huh?
How do you get the clothing for him? You make it.
You go to when you go to yard sales, you're looking at kids' clothes, and he wears
that
like
awesome.
6 months. So it's
yeah. That is cool.
What I do is I try to put them on first. If I can't get them on, then they're probably going to fit him.
You know, that's one thing I don't know how you do it though, because I would bust out laughing just when I see you start your shows.
You've
I don't know
heard
how
me.
you do without laughing.
You've heard me laugh in the background because I don't know what I'm going to say, and as soon as it comes out, there was one day I got so tickled on some stuff he said, and I just chuckled in the background. And I had to almost stop because I was laughing so hard of what he said, but I said it.
Yeah.
So
you just never know.
Yeah.
We'll be surprised how much a bump your channel will go. Yeah, you're right.
Well, I mean, I did a song where he was out there when we had that huge snow, and he was out there singing and get me back in there. I'm freezing, and I've done stuff where I dressed up like Chris Farley, and
that was a good one. Yeah, that was a good one.
And I mean, I'll try anything if I think it'll work. But you know, so you got to also remember, I've gone to places now where the young kids, I'm going, oh, I love that Michael Jackson song. Who's Michael Jackson? What? You don't know who Michael Jackson is? Where you been living? So, I mean, but then when I'll hear something like, you know, somebody nowadays, I don't know who they are. So.
Alice says we need to see more of JT.
All right. Well, I don't want to make the video. It's already like, I mean, my video, Friday?
In other words, I think it's like now. Minutes. You heard?
Huh?
I think they want to see more now.
Yeah, you'll see more now. I'll just start having him run the show.
And another thing you have to do too, and I have learned this myself, I started taking some of the videos when I'm doing the videos itself, and I do them in clips, so it's easier for me to put together when I'm editing. And a lot of times I will mess up and I will laugh, I will say something stupid. And so now what I've been doing, because people seem to like it, is at the end of the video, I'll put out the bloopers at the end. And it seems that people like that, so I've been adding them at the end. I haven't had as many lately, but yeah, when I do, they're there.
Yeah, I mean, he does the intro and we do whatever. Some days it's a joke, some days it's a song, some days we just kind of go back and forth. But
right. Bobby is at 868.
He thank you, folks. He the problem is when he's done, I notice in my analytics, that's when people disappear. They're like, I don't want to see what's sold. I want to see JT. So maybe I should just start a JT channel.
I was just going to say that. Yeah, the bloopers are great. Yeah, and it seems like everybody's starting to like it. So let's see. Rescue and Resell. Hello. Good morning and welcome.
Hello.
I just filmed no editing. Yeah, I do too, but I usually do the clips, so it's easier for me to put them together when doing a video, because I have some things that I've been adding to my videos lately, and I find it's easier to do the extras part of it when I'm doing them in clips. Why not end it with JT?
I could do that too. Yeah. But usually by the time I'm done, he's taking a nap.
Yeah. I mean, D. Good morning, D.
Hey, D.
Southern Vintage Picker. JT channel would have better retention rate.
Yeah, probably. And maybe he would also think that if I put a Giants cap on him, it would probably get better reviews too.
So if y'all haven't checked out Bobby's channel, I know there's some people that's been just coming in that's kind of new and not knowing who Bobby is and JT. It is something that you would enjoy. Let's see. Just think, Cat Guy, when you are 75 and a passenger in a car and you start heading banging Ozzy. It'll come out on the video.
I drive an Infiniti G37 Coupe as my primary car, and I have the sunroof open, and I do listen to the old music, and I do love. I'm a bigger AC/DC fan than Ozzy, but I like Ozzy. He's okay. Right. I'll jam to anything, the Jets or Michael Jackson, or I mean, my music taste is immense. I'm a music junkie, so I'll be right back. I'm gonna let the dogs out. I'll be right back.
All right, my kids want me to do funny stuff, and I don't know what to do. For instance, I do everything in the basement, and we'll call it dungeon. Well, it's just a matter of what you can think maybe of being creative with, maybe. It's kind of hard sometimes when you want to be genuine when doing it. You don't want to be looking like you're fake about it. So it's got to be something that would be natural looking. Because I've seen some videos where I don't know why they do some of the things they do when it comes to, you can tell it's not them. It's not something they're comfortable with. So it's just a matter of what you can do that is comfortable to you. Let's see. What's up, Chuck? Speaking of being normal and there's Chuck. Check out his channel. It is so good to finally see Johnny's dad's face. That was not my dad. Native Pie Trinkets and Doodads. Hello, hello, and welcome. Yes, natural. Yeah, you have to be. Because if you notice on some channels when they're not natural, you can tell by them looking like they're forcing themselves or it's not something they're comfortable with. I didn't realize you took yourself off of it.
Oh, yeah, I just backed out for a minute.
I could have just changed the screen part.
Oh.
Yeah, we were talking in reference to being natural when Julia made a comment in reference of people want her to be more funny and she's in her basement and that kind of thing. And that's when I said, and everybody's starting to talk about it too, as far as you need to be natural as possible when doing something like that, especially when you're trying to be funny. Because people can tell that you're forcing it or that you're actually genuine and being natural about it.
Yeah, and Sarcastic uses his, and I know Chuck, he's a big jokester and has that, as we call it, a brain full of useless information.
Yeah.
But it's always fun, and when you watch their channel, him and Native Pie,
to them is natural.
Always starts out, what's your stats?
Yeah.
But I've never been on, so I don't know. He don't know my stats. So I'm not telling him unless I'm on there.
Right. Melanie has a suggestion, says, let everybody know why you named your channel. Why you named it the channel you named your channel.
Yeah. I messed up. I mean, the cap guy, I think there are a lot of people that have made comments, well, I don't do caps. And I'm like, well, you should. I made more money off caps than anything. But it was just something I had at the time because I wear ball caps. I got a bald spot growing on the back of my head. And so now I wear ball caps because once the sides go, I'm going bald because I don't want one of them, in the middle and then have hair on the side. Yeah, there you go.
It doesn't matter to me.
Exactly.
I use a clipper and get it all off.
That's right. But I should have done something else, but because I was already where I was in the subs and all that, I didn't want to change the channel. I know some people that have done that and they've lost 200 or 300 subs in a day. And I'm just like, yeah, I just got to stay with it. And I added JT just on accident, and I've just kind of kept it there.
And for me, I named my name came up because when I moved from Louisiana, we were talking about moving because Robert had got a transfer for his job. And we had to move up here to Massachusetts because in New Orleans, they shut the business down. So for Robert to keep the job, we had to move up here. And so I told Robert, I said, look, I've been in business since 2005 for myself. I'm not going to go and start looking for a job when I don't even know the area, first of all. And so he said, why don't you think about doing this? And I said, what do you mean? And so he started showing me the YouTube channels that do the reselling and how they do it and things like that. It's like, yeah, I can do that. So when I moved to Massachusetts, I had to come up with something that had to do with Cajun, but then I was looking and doing some research on how many people had the word Cajun in their name, the title. And so nobody had it with the K. So I changed it to, instead of a C, a K. And then, of course, my roots were from Louisiana. So that's why I put Rick Cajun Roots. And then, of course, I do reselling. And so that's how I came up with my channel.
Do you want to get back to Louisiana someday, or do you now?
Just to visit.
Okay.
I hate to say that, but the only thing I miss in Louisiana is my family.
Right.
And my friends. As far as the weather's concerned, I'm loving it up here. You get 4 true seasons, and it's beautiful and it's comfortable. In the summer, it's not like smack in the face humidity. Right. But I do miss my family.
I lived in upstate New York for a couple of years, and the summers are mild, but the winters were just too much. And
well,
of course,
I'm getting used to it too.
Closed.
Yeah.
I work
Patrick says, my first video was very horrible. We're horrible. Once I stopped trying and put out what I wanted, things started picking up. And that's the same thing with me. And everybody's going to start that way. When you start at the bottom, and everybody does, you're going to feel excited and nervous at the same time. But the one time you do that first video, and a lot of people say they don't go back and watch them. I do, because I want to see where I progressed and what I need to change during the progression of where I'm at now.
Right. Yeah, I grew up in Central Texas in Austin, and I love Austin, Texas, for a lot of reasons. But I moved around the country in the career that I was in, and so I've been here 2 or 3 times. And I spent my summers here because I got grandparents that lived here, and 2 of my brothers actually lived here. And when I retired, I decided to stay. Austin's just grown beyond what it was when I was a teenager, and
Right.
so I love to go visit, but boy, it's a traffic nightmare. And I've lived in Dallas, and I've lived in Phoenix, where the traffic's bad. But Oklahoma's they're very friendly and they're very welcoming, and the cost of living is definitely affordable here. So
They said the Southern hospitality. Paul says it's funny how you can make the same joke in video 1 and then in video 50. Video 50 would be more funnier because you're more relaxed and being yourself and being natural, and that is so true. And I noticed that this weekend when I put out the video, I put out this weekend, and I'm watching. It's like I'm definitely getting much better at this as far as when I first started. Where in the world did it fly? Way up there. So yeah, it's just amazing. By the way, is Leroy still here? What time does your show start? By the way, I think it's 10:30 or 11. Perfect.
And Nady Pie should change up his show and just one day show up in a non-Hawaiian shirt. That would
be hard.
Everybody off. That would throw everybody.
And I'm the same way. I look at it this way: the more colorful, the brighter, the more pictures, the more colors. I love it.
And I go to Hawaii and I don't wear a Hawaiian shirt. I'm like, I normally wear tank tops, and they got tattoos on both arms. I didn't get tattoos until I was in my 50s. And I have the state of Texas with a longhorn on one side of my Navy Crow, second class petty officer on there. And so I don't wear them. I lived in Albany area, Rensselaer, across the Hudson from Albany. And I lived in Oswego on Lake Ontario, just north of Syracuse, for a total of 2 years.
Right. Get through everyone's comment and statements. Everybody's just making comments. Thank you so much. But again, Jennifer, can you drop the link for Leroy? I thought I had it.
Show us the tats. Hey, it's not my show.
All right, there you go. Well, I'm sorry, what was that?
Chuck,
you can show the tats if you want.
All right. There's the Texas one. Let me see if I can get closer here.
Hold on. I was checking to see what time. It's at 11. There you go.
Okay, there's the Texas one, and I got that done when I was 52. It's got the Longhorn in it. And then the Navy one is again, I'm trying to get the right angle. I always have a problem with this. It's a second class petty officer, radioman, which is an E5 for those of you that don't know the military rank.
Yep.
Like sergeant in the Army or Marines. And,
hello, good morning, and welcome. Joe Deals in the house.
Didn't get him
for Leroy and Mo. They are at 11. I thought it was 10:30, but it's 11.
Okay, I've been to Rochester.
Saying suspend the try my normal. Try to look normal. Okay.
Yeah. I'm just saying be different. Just show up one day and not a Hawaiian shirt. And
right.
You'll probably get 1 million comments as, hey, what's going on with Nady Pie? Yeah. And then have a spoon instead of a fork.
Yeah, you got to change it up sometimes.
If you've never seen a guy eat a Dorito with a fork, that man can do it.
Crystal, she said she's going to be singing, but she wants to know if anybody can give her suggestions of what they want to hear. She does not do rock and roll. And in fact, if y'all haven't checked it out this past week, and I just want to remind everybody, we're doing the Hall of Dollar Money in Motion starting this week only on Tuesday. So don't forget, it's not going to be on Thursday. So it's only going to be on Tuesday starting this week. And she gave away some music that she had little slots of MP3 files that she was doing for the giveaway. Oh, not the giveaways, but what she sold. You had a choice of songs to sing from. I think she said she's going to be singing today. So yeah.
She won't sing rock, so she can sing I don't know. All My Exes Live in Texas by George Strait. It's funny. None of my exes live in Texas, and I grew up in Texas, but they all.
I would look right if it wouldn't look right if Nate and Chuck tried to be acting normal. Yeah, you're right about that.
Well, I didn't mean act normal. I just meant just for the beginning.
Something different. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because Chuck's never normal. So.
Thank y'all so much for appreciate trying to be keeping the positive attitudes, keeping the bunch of stuff done. That is good. And I try to keep it positive and funny. And this is how I wake up in the morning. When I'm waking up in the morning, when my feet hit that floor, I say my morning prayer and I get going. And it's like that when I wake up. Robert always says it's too early for that. Like,
And I get up in the morning and the first thing I do is change JT's diaper and then, hey, I took face of that. Maybe it was mine. I don't know.
Let's see. I did some mystery boxes. This last sale was a hit. Oh, cool. So yeah, and then tonight's bingo at 5:00 p.m. This week we're only going to have, of course, Monday through Friday is the morning show, and I have a different guest every day. I think a lot of people are starting to enjoy the part of it being a mystery guest.
Oh, okay.
I haven't had any questions. In fact, to the part where they like I've been getting a lot of comments on how they like it when they get here not knowing who the guest is going to be. And I want to let everybody know I am booked, starting to book now the 3rd week in June. So if anybody would like to come on, I would love to have you on. And again, this is more of for a channel for you to come on and promote your channel, talk about things you're doing, question and answer kind of thing, but it's more at ease, nothing that is formal. I am right now, I think I have it booked until the Monday of the 3rd week in June.
I should come back on in July. I'll be in Maui and I could do a live from Maui. But then I thought, wait a minute, I'm 5 hours or 6 hours from Massachusetts.
Oh, yeah. So you'd have to, yeah.
I'd be up at 1 a.m. doing a show. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that. Hey, what you should do now is instead of like showing me or whoever's on, just have them do the whole show and everybody guesses who it is.
Yeah, really, huh?
Yeah.
You're talking keeping in the back screen, but not showing your face. Yeah.
Or I'll just come in like this and I'll never take
Or
you see the cat guy banner in the background, so you kind of
exactly. You have to have a green screen. Hello, good morning, and welcome to Tiger, Timeless, and Treasures. How are y'all doing today?
JT, get off.
Not do that, Bobby. You can't tease us being in a beautiful place like James does. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, we try to go every year. The only reason we get to go is because the person I go with, they get free airlines passes on American.
Mm-hmm.
So we fly standby, but we go during the week, so there's less chance of getting bumped. And the only thing I hate is that 8-hour flight from Dallas to Maui. It's just,
right.
I hate being in the air that long. But
well, little Debbie, you have a good day. I'm glad to see you got to go to the post office and bring those packages. How are you? Everybody saying hello. Good morning. Hello and welcome. Cali Reseller Luis. How are you doing? Good morning.
He hangs out with a guy from Austin.
Also, don't forget to put your links in the chat. That way, those that are in the chat can check out and make sure they're either still subscribed to you or that if they're not, they can subscribe to you and hit the notification. I have a lot of my watch later list. Super excited about it. Yeah, I did the same thing, especially when someone asked me, how do I do it? I think it was Nana Tink last week.
Uh-huh.
I use a list that says watch later. And I have everybody who, if I'm in their, say I'm in a show or I'm in somebody's chat during the week, and then all of a sudden I see they come out with a video and I'm in the middle of watching a live, I will put it into my watch later list. And that way when I'm working in the morning, whether I'm listing, packaging, whatever, I have it playing in the background. But it gives them not only support and watch hours, but I listen in case if I hear something that I want to comment about or it's interesting for me to stop what I'm doing, I'll come back and make a comment just to go back on what they were saying. And it's nice to be able to support somebody and still listen to it in the background.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a channel like a Lonnie or Harry Tornado or any of them, but I answer every comment in my YouTube, and I don't just put a heart. I'm going to answer the, or thank them or whatever because I want people to know that I am actually taking that.
I do that every morning when I wake up, and I'm here drinking my coffee for the first point, and I turn on my computer on. Believe it or not, that's one of my first routines is go to my comments, who I did not reply to, and I'll either make comments, a like, thank you, heart, the whole 9 yards. Because for me, I don't care how big I get. It doesn't matter. I will still do that every day because that is what I do every morning. And that's how I set it in my routine to where I don't miss it because of the fact that they took the time to comment in my video. I'm going to take the time to reply.
Well, I know you do because I commented this morning that JT needed bean money and you said it's on the way.
Yeah.
Again, it just comes to my head and it just comes out.
Yeah. And that's what I do every morning. It's just my morning routine. And then I check my eBay store, see what's sold, any comments, any messages, things like that. And then I check all my Facebook messages, then my Instagram, because I'm starting to get into that routine where there's a lot of people who have been messaging me through Instagram. And when I first started, I didn't think about it. I would forget about it. And somebody says, oh, you don't check your Instagram? So now I'm making that part of my morning routine as well. The mask guest.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Have them just hide there and let people guess who it is. Of course,
it's
you
like,
can't
have a mask.
You can't have a banner in the background.
Exactly. Whenever I get a chance, I put in a 1x5 and power through as much as possible. I hear that. But again, I still want to at least listen to what they're saying and comment if I can. The more you comment the questions that people who are answering your videos, it helps your channel anyway.
Hey, Paul, what do I sound like in high speed when my voice is going? Does it sound
really
a chipmunk or maybe Akon when he did Lonely?
Mm-hmm. So if anybody has any questions for Bobby, go ahead and put them in the chat. Also, don't forget to drop your links. If there's anything special going on your channel, make sure you drop that link as well. Callie, don't forget to drop the link for the Mindful Mondays show today at 4 p.m. I'm looking forward to that because there's going to be Amber on there today.
And y'all can send me all the Boudin links you want if you're in Louisiana. A lot of people go, what's Boudin? What's Boudin? I was like,
let me some Boudin.
When I lived in Southeast Texas, there were a lot of cages, a lot of Boudreaux and Thibodeaux and Trahans and all that. And I just...
5 speed isn't bad. It's just like everyone is talking like an existing little kid 2 times the way of the fast. So in the subs of 196 for TTT.
I think I'm going to start a JT channel.
I think I have more subscribers than that.
I think I'm going to start a JT channel and see if he can pass me.
Right.
He might blow up. Who knows?
You never know. All right. Bobby is still at 686 and Yenzer is still at 98. Let's see if we can get him some more subs. And check to see if you're not subscribed. So just make sure you subscribe and hit the thumbs up and the notification. If everyone wants a good laugh, listen to the quick talker like Emily. Oh, wow. Yeah. I bet that's awesome. Cap Guy, have you bought storage units before?
We've thought about it, but there's so much sourcing opportunity here. Good sourcing opportunity that I'm like, where am I going to put it? I mean, I got a house with a lot of stuff in it. If you watch some of my inventory videos, I take you through it and you see that room that's full and a little bit out there, but yeah, he will. But yeah, I of course he also being a kid, kind of, I may have to be here for him to get monetized. And I don't always want to be here when JT's performing.
More of my friends are from vintage reseller communities and coming in here. Okay, cool. And that's one of the things that is good about us as a community, about sharing each other's channels, because we all want to see everybody succeed. I know I do. And that's why I'm trying to bring on guests. And I'm gonna let you know I have guests, and I'm not limiting my guests. If I have a channel that somebody would want to introduce and promote themselves, I'm more for them to come on, no matter if you're under 100, all the way up to over 100,000. It does not matter. And yes, I do have guests that are scheduled to come on. I'm not gonna say when or what month, but they have over 100,000 subs, so they have just as much to offer everyone than those that are under 100. So, forever best friends, how are you doing, Charlie Grace? Good to see ya. I bought on an antique and vintage store. I have so much 5 storage units because wow, that's a lot.
And I've been wanting to get a tiny house and live in it, but then I'd have to have a barn.
Yeah. So what's the purpose of the tiny house if you have a barn?
She's about to get on that treadmill and watch the Cap guy. See, that'll give you inspiration when you're watching me and you're on the treadmill. You're like, I don't want to look like that. I don't want to look like that. And you run fast.
Disconnected. Yeah. And again, when I first started going back to doing guest again, because of the fact that I wanted to, when I first started the show, first of all, I was bringing on guests and I was doing guests. And so I wanted to get back to that because I find that it's more interesting than having, again, I had a co-host here, a co-host there. But I think the best thing was to have guests on it because then we can showcase a channel. And that's why we do it for the first hour. And then some guests who's going to come on, that's going to be the second hour because that's how the time they can come in.
Right.
And so I am working with everyone that I can because, again, we all started somewhere. We
Right.
all can bring something different to the table. And like I always say, my opinions or what I do are different than others. It doesn't mean it's right or wrong. It's just that's what works for me. I'm looking to have an outbuilding so I can van life. Yeah, that's right. Y'all doing a camper life thing y'all doing. So funny to be bigger space, your stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it would. It would. That beard would be hard for you.
Yeah, you're right. My son just got Student of the Month. Congratulations. I know you're proud of him. All right, so if anybody has any questions, put them in the chat. Again, don't forget to put your links in the chat. And if anybody wants to come in, the link is at the top in the blue box. You're more than welcome to come in and ask any questions or have any comments about what you have going on your channel. You're more than welcome to come on. So what is your schedule, or what is your goal, or do you set goals for either the month or the week?
I have a daily profit goal of 150 is what I try to hit. But I work this 7 days a week, and I talk about that when I'm at yard sales. I talk to everybody, and I do this every single day. And those of you do, you know how hard this is. The sourcing part is the fun part. Everybody loves that part, but then you got to do the extra research. You got to do the pictures. You got to clean it up, list it, and then store it, and then find it when you sell it, and then deal with the customer if there's an issue. So it's a never ending thing.
Right.
Keeping records and Excel spreadsheets and all the things that you do, because it is a business. And next year, as everybody knows, if you sell on any platform and you make over $600, you're going to get a 1099. So a lot of people are going to rethink this process, but a lot of people are getting into it because it's available.
And you see, for me, it doesn't bother me because when I first started my first year, I got a 1099 within a year. So it doesn't bother me because
Right.
I claim everything regardless if they give me a 1099 or not. So I do claim everything. And what I like about even Facebook, eBay and PayPal is that I even get a 1099 from PayPal, which
Right.
works for me because I can balance my paperwork and see is it what I made actually,
Right.
plus my auctions that I do. I claim all of that because I don't want to have to sit here and worry or they're going to come after me.
Right.
Plus, I use my tax ID number to where it's all of my business, so I don't have to worry about it. So yeah, it's best to have that and track it because you just never know.
Yeah,
Report you.
I set up my Excel spreadsheet at 15% because I do promoted listings and I want to make sure that I'm as close as I can. Of course, you're going to get the actual numbers from eBay, like you said.
Yeah.
But when I'm doing my what solds, I want my profit to be as close to exact as I can. So I use 15% because eBay's getting their 12.3 or 5. And then, of course, my promoted listings. And I do juggle those a little bit, but I've been staying around 4%. And
when you're doing your promoted listings, do you change it or you just stay at one number all the time?
I found it, and I've been playing with this. I've been tweaking it, and with 3,900 items, I'll put the entire store on it, and then I'll do 2.2%. And then for a week, my sales will just take off. Then I'll take it all down because they'll start to decline in the analytics, and I'll change it to 2.5%, and they'll take off again. And it seems like it's always like 7 to 10 days, and then it'll drop again. So the other day I decided I'm going to just do 4%, and I've kind of left it there. And then I went up yesterday or Saturday, I changed it to 4.1 just to see if it made much of a difference because I should probably have more sales than I do based on that. But, it's always a juggling act that I send offers, and I was running sales in conjunction with promoted, and I found that I was really kind of losing on the deal because here I'm running a 15 or 20% off sale, and then they're getting 4% of my money. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not getting any deposit money, and I'm doing all the work. So I quit doing sales. I'm just sending offers, and I send a lot of them. And, I do decline the ones that, like, I got one on a $59 ball cap yesterday. Somebody offered me $10. I just went decline. I'm not even going to counter on stuff like that.
I'll let it expire when that happens. I don't even accept it or deny it. I just let it expire.
Right.
Well, when you're doing that, for me, I know when I do my sales, I usually take off the promoted listings. But usually I've only been running sales for anything that I do have that might be over 120 days. And then it might be a good bid, sometimes it's not, but I usually run it on the 120 or older.
Right.
And if I do that, I'm taking off the promoted listings. How much is your percentage of your promoted listings actually sold through promoted listings?
No, I mean, what I find in promoted listings is I see older stuff that's been up there a while. Cause I've been seeing some people on some of the social media, Facebook posts talk about things like, hey, when your stuff doesn't sell for a year or two, do you take it down and donate it? No, I don't. I paid for it. Now I will, like on the Ralph Lauren polo shirts, I've brought those down to like $12, $13 a piece just to try to move them. So I might make $2 or $3 on them. But I'll never buy them again. I've learned like ties and beanie babies, I don't buy ever again.
Right.
But I'm going to try to get my money back at least after fees, and so I'll leave it up there for 2 years. And when I do promoteds, that's the one thing I see. The new stuff's that stuff goes pretty quickly. It seems like if it's quality stuff,
Right.
The old stuff that's been on there for a year or so, that's what I see moving. That tells me that the promoted's helping it. So
I know for me, I've noticed that it's about 5% when I do put promoted listings, which when I do, I put it on everything. And it looks like about 5% of my sales are through promoted listings.
right.
And for me, if they buy it without promoted listings, that's fine. But I'm usually like 79 cents. It's very little. It's not a lot.
Right.
So for me, I don't mind doing promoted listings because it's not much, but it does help because then again, I know they're promoting my product.
Right.
No matter what the price is. And then, of course, if I'm going to sell, I take it off of promoted listings. I don't do both because I don't want my profit to be eaten into because I'm promoting it when I am doing the listings. All right, so I just put JT's Bobby's link in the chat. If check to see if you're subscribed to him. Let me see where you at now. 869.
Oh wow! Somebody must have came in besides Chuck. Who came in? Oh,
Zinger is at 99. Yep, you at 869, Bobby.
I've already got him, and I'm gonna grab it. There's a couple others I've been writing down when we're done here, and I'll go in and sub to those. I will. Anybody.
This one right here, Miss Melanie. I actually came across her channel one day where she commented on one of my videos. So I went back and watched her videos, and she's got a lot of subs, and she's got a lot of videos. So y'all might want to check her out.
I want to see the tiny house in the
yes.
video. Yeah.
So definitely check her out.
That.
Huh?
Could you live in a tiny house?
No.
I could, but I couldn't have eBay inventory in there.
Let me just say this. After Katrina, I had to live in one of those FEMA trailers, and to me, that is a tiny house. And after living in there for a year and a half, I could not live in a tiny house. I'm sorry. I'm a type person. I don't like to be smothered. I like to have room. And so for me, I don't think I can ever live in a tiny house.
If it was rural in the country, I'd want solar and I'd want the water catchment and all that.
Right.
But yeah, I would love to live in one. Now it wouldn't be probably 200 square feet. I'm talking maybe 400 or 500 square feet. But all my inventory and all my stuff I'd have to get rid of a lot of my personal stuff too. But
Forever Best Friends, they live in a small camper. So they do it out.
Yeah. I'd need a bigger than Lonnie shed.
Yeah, exactly. I'm on tour 8 months out of the year. Check out her channel. That's Charlie. I would live in a tiny house with a giant shop warehouse. Then that's defeating the purpose. I wouldn't do that. I'm sorry. I just can't.
I mean, my inventory is either in my garage on shelves or I've got a bedroom that's separate.
I agree with that one too, Roy. He says tiny house is not good for Horizon.
Yeah. I've watched a lot of shows on them.
If you have time, check out this channel after the show. There is BMOS. I'm sure. Let me make sure before I say anything. That's their channel. Yes, that's Boris and Natasha's. They just hit 700 subs.
Wow, good deal.
All right, so let me put this in the chat. It's getting to that time. I see my numbers are very going up and down. Let me see if they're still in here. That was
half acre. She's got a 220 square foot home. Wow.
All right, here's the link to Leroy and Mo. They're coming on at 11, so there's their channel link. Try to see if you can get there and show them some love and support.
Chuck.
Yeah, you saw that?
Yeah. Like I said, we have a very similar warped sense of humor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I understand that one. I'm the same way.
Yeah.
Anyway, make sure you put your links in the chat so that way everybody can check to make sure they're subscribed to you. Thank you so much, Bobby. I don't want to take up too much more of your time because I know you probably have a lot to do. Then thank you for coming on and saying yes to coming on the morning show. And I'm glad we were able to have you on here and get to know you a little bit more, kind of thing. Before we leave, go ahead and tell everybody a little bit about yourself on your channel, what you have on a regular basis on your channel, and what's coming up this week for everybody.
Well, what I'm going to start doing is impersonating other channels. I'm just going to dress up like Chuck one day, then I'll dress up like Katie by another. No, I'm kidding. That'd be hard to do. Because I gave away my John Deere hat to Chuck.
Right.
Basically, I use a puppet. We don't plan anything. I'll write a song in a couple of minutes, or we may tell jokes, and they're always corny jokes. Why did that stupid chicken cross the road just because he wanted, kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. Or we'll mess with the alien. And I didn't realize my death pile's back here. Oh my goodness, look at that death pile. And that's just from this weekend. And then I go into what I bought and sold, and I show every single item because I want you to see the good and the bad. And some of it is bundle deals where you're going to always have a little bit of both. But basically, I'm transparent. I'll answer anything. I have no shame, so I will do whatever it takes to what I think may be funny. And some of you may not think it's funny.
Right.
But at my age, I just do what I do, and I'm me. And
your live shows, what day is that on?
Wednesdays at 7 Central. It'll either be on my channel or it'll be on Angie Resale's channel.
All right. And is there anything else you have planned for the week? Wednesdays? I'm going to try to get a video up today or tomorrow, but it'll be just basically JT and what sold because I'm behind on what solds. And then I'm going to be listing heavily for the next few days because I've got to get all this stuff before Friday when I go yard selling again. There you go. Also, don't forget today is Mindful Merch. There's the link. And we have somebody just came on the chat.
What's up? How's it going?
Great. And you?
I'm doing all right. Man, hi, Cat Guy. How are you, man? Good to see you.
Pikachu, Barney.
Yeah, he's looking at your background over there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. ever evolving, It's like to kind of move things around.
I almost got in a fight this weekend at a yard sale. I said, do you have any video games or ball caps? And the guy goes, no, I got some figures. And so there was another reseller, and he was mad because I was asking. And I walked over, and there was a box of these. And he goes, how much? I said, how much you want for those? He goes, how about $3 for the whole box?
Oh, dang. Good job, buddy.
And they're all 90s. I'm like, good job. Yeah, I'll take them. And I don't know all about Power Rangers, but I know they have value.
Hey, well, that's why I'm coming on real quick. I know we're pressed, but going to go live tomorrow night, 9 o'clock Eastern on my channel. It's kind of toy and comic talk, similar to this format. People can be in the chat, throw out questions. We will let people, if you want to come on, if you don't want to show you want to just audio it through StreamYard like we do, ask questions. I'll do my best to identify stuff, give you, if you want to talk values, we can, accessories of toys, but really like for resellers, but also hobbyists and just people that maybe, want to get into it. Like you just said, you find something kind of, what is this? How do I, is it missing pieces? Do you have this whole team of Power Rangers, right? There's all the different colors and what year is it? Stuff like that. So on Tuesdays, I'm the toy expert. And then on Thursdays, it's on my buddy Collecting Chaos is a comic expert. And it's all about comic books and grading and, ties to, movies, merch, toys, all, it kind of all meshes together. So, yeah, just wanted to come on, say hi. And
how was your auctions? I missed half of it. Only got to watch half of it because
you got to catch the one on Tiffany's. That was kind of the I think the shot of the night was holding those artistic Barbies three across as kind of.
I heard a little bit more about it.
Yeah. So where do you live, Horizon? What part of the country are you in?
I'm in Pennsylvania. Yeah,
okay.
Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania.
It's funny you say that because I just recently purchased a big thing of a personal guy's Star Wars stuff.
Okay.
And it was amazing looking at the figures, the ones that had the accessories. It's just like Barbies and G.I. Joes. If they have the accessories, they're worth a ton more money.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. That's right.
And I think there's a couple people just like this. We in the community that's kind of slowly building. You know, there are other guys, they used to own comic shops. Obviously with COVID, maybe their brick and mortar closed, but they will come on and they have vast knowledge to identify. And even like you said, some of those Star Wars action figures, they will be like, you need the gun, you need the staff. And then it's like, if you get that, you're going to get more out of it. So, and I will give examples too.
Yeah.
You know?
Boris and Natasha has a question. I'm assuming it's for you, Bobby. Do you list everything yourself?
Yes. I don't use any other platform because I can list quickly. The issue for me is the inventory part of it where I have to put it away. And if it's clothing, I have to bag it and tag it and put it away. Big items, I just set on a shelf and I know where they're at, like Funko Pops. But yeah.
Julia says she wants to see you impersonate her.
All right. You know, I actually did that for 3 channels. I did it for Lonnie's. I did a skit months ago, and it was like I was laughing so hard. JT was making fun of me because I did like Lonnie. I would run and pick the item, and I'd run back, but I made my feet loud so you would hear me running back. And you need to go back and watch my bit. But I did Lonnie. I did Froggy Flips, and I don't think Froggy liked it because I'm just guessing. But that I never heard from him. And I did Kevin Commonwealth. And at the time, I didn't realize he touched everything, or I would have done that. Yeah, I would have ended that. But I didn't want to. I don't want to offend anybody. I'm just trying to have fun with it, and from my perspective, what I see. And I mean, for me, you'd have to really be warped to do mine. Chuck could probably do mine, but Chuck's not as muscular. Oh,
well, that's like it's entertainment, man. More, please. Yes, do it. It's great.
Exactly.
A lot of people are asking me too about the show. It is this format. How it's not an auction, but again, I get multiples of stuff. I have duplicates. I may talk about something, show it, and then buy it now. You throw it in the chat, out it goes. And if I have multiples, great. You know, we can do that. So, yeah.
All right, I'll put Cap Guy's link in the chat if you missed it earlier. There's his link. Go ahead and check him out. If you're not subscribed to him, go ahead and make sure you subscribe. He is currently at 869, but let me refresh it and see what that number is now.
I guess I'll have to look up perfecting pearls and do an imitation. Y'all just giving me ideas, but I hope you like it when I do.
Yeah, so go ahead and drop your links in the chat. And again, like I always say before we end each and every show, I did put the link in for Leroy. Leroy and Mo. They're coming on at 11, so let's see if we can go ahead and show them some love and support as well. And again, don't forget this afternoon at 5 o'clock is bingo. 5 o'clock, fun night, bingo night, free to play. You win prizes. And again, don't forget that this week, it's only on Tuesdays now where I'm doing the $100 Money in Motion. We are on round 4, filling the second bracket. And we're going to do it only on Tuesdays because that way we can, and I'll talk more about it on the actual show tomorrow on why we decided to just do Tuesdays. And of course, by me doing some research, that's what was the best thing for the channel and for those coming in, competing. And so with that being said, as I always say before in each and every show, love always, love is always free.
Can I make one comment?
Now then to meet into another chat later.